Good morning, Lana Scott Lighthouse. Guys, it is Sunday. Oh, my hair, I cannot do anything with it. I really need to go get it cut and colored. And hopefully next month I'll be able to do that. I had a neighbor come over and talk to me this morning. And he wanted to know why on his camera, on his thing. And I've had this same thing happen before. And him go, I wonder why I saw your car by my camper. And I said, because I drove through to go to the laundromat. I said, everybody else does it too. You know, if there's no spot there, or if there's no car there, we'll just, you know, and I said, I don't like to try to carry my laundry because my laundry basket's broke. So I literally drive out of my yard, drive through yours, and drive right across the street to the laundromat. And I've noticed everybody else does that. And he's like, oh, okay, well. So he was kind of worried, you know. And I'm looking at him. I'm looking at all his tattoos and his little drops right here. And I said, what prison? I mean, were you in prison? And he says, yeah, I've been in prison most of my life. I said, used to be a corrections officer. So we get to talking. Now he feels a little bit better. Because yesterday, well, anyway, so we had this long-ass conversation. And I just happened to mention to him, you know, if... when I did work for the prison system, I would have inmates. There's a difference between inmates and convicts. Convicts, they take care of their home because they're there for a long period of time, if not the rest of their lives. And it's home. So they don't, you know, they don't shit where they live, is the way they say it. Inmates, they come and go. Or they come back, get out, come back, get out. They're just in and out, in and out, in and out, okay? For a little bitty petty crap like drugs or, you know, breaking and entering, not murders. We're talking about the petty shit, okay? Those are inmates usually. And the inmates, when I worked in Mississippi, well, in Florida too, they would tell me, they'd say, yeah, Officer Scott, when I get out of here, I'm going back to my same street corner to go sell drugs. And I'd say, okay, see you next year. Because if you stay at the same place, if you do the same thing, if you leave home and come back and go to the same street corner, don't expect different results. If you keep doing the same thing you've always done, you're going to keep getting the same results. There's another way to say that, but I can't think of how it is. Or the one that one of our motto when I worked at the Florida prison was, if you do what you've always done, you'll be what you've always been. I actually love that. But it's the same thing, and you can switch the words around to however is something that you want to change. If I go back to this same old job, doing the same old thing, I'll keep finding the same thing I found before. The same people, the same happiness or unhappiness, the same boredom after so long, the same old feeling like I'm in a rut and I'm on a treadmill just going, or like a mouse or a hamster in a cage on the wheel, going around and around and around and around. Guys, if you want to do something different, if you want to change your life, you have got to make different decisions. You have to move to a different area. You have to get off that street corner, because if you stay on that street corner, don't expect anything different. You're going to see the same people every day, because people get into habits. And if you want to do something different, if you want your life to be different, you have to get off that treadmill. So this is just a little motivation for you today, because when this guy says, yeah, I've been in and out of prison my whole life, and I'm, you know, and then I told him that little story about what the inmate told me one time, and I said, if you want to have a better life, make better decisions. So, and I just did a reading about that yesterday. So guys, I just felt like I had to come on here and say that. I also, well, I guess I'll do a second little video, different video about what I discovered about myself this morning. I discovered something and I'm like, why did it take so long for that to hit me? 20 years, 30 years? So I'm going to do a different video about that. But guys, this is just a little motivational video to tell you, if you want different results, do something different. Make a different decision. Get off the treadmill, get off the hamster cage, the hamster wheel. Quit doing the same thing. Sometimes you have to actually literally get new friends, move to a new place, get a different job, go to a different church, go to a different grocery store, okay? Because you see the same people every day. I remember when I lived in Sacramento when I was 20 years old. This is my second bout in living in California. And I remember I had a friend, his name was Mark. I remember Mark telling me, yeah, he says, you know, he said he had gotten himself a really fancy car that he had saved up his money for. And all of a sudden he started girls at the same street corner where he would on his way to work every morning. All of a sudden, girls started noticing and waving and smiling and everything. And he's like, before I got this car, I saw them same girls every day, and they never paid attention to me when I was in my old car. Now that I'm in my new car, now all of a sudden they notice me. I haven't changed. Same street corner every morning, same four corners, same people just about at the same time, everybody on their way to work, and all of a sudden a fancy car, now all of a sudden they notice me. And you know what? He's like, if they didn't notice me before, I have nothing to offer them now. So guys, sometimes you even need a different route to work, okay? You've got to change things. Well, he changed it up, but he got another car, but he realized how shallow the women were that he was seeing. They didn't notice him before. Now all of a sudden he had this little fancier car, and they thought, ooh, you got money. So, and a lot of people do that, guys. A lot of us do that. We get impressed by somebody having fancy things. And I have simplified my life so much. I no longer have anything fancy. I no longer have a house. I no longer have, I always had trucks. Now I have this little Subaru. Guys, everything has been simplified, and it's getting ready to be more simplified. The fanciest thing I've got going right now is my lights, okay? So change up your life if you want to if you want something different to happen in your life, okay? So that's my message for this morning. I've got another one actually coming up right after this, but it's going to be a different video. All right, guys, let this motivate you. Think about it. Do you want to do the same thing every single day? Do you want next month to be a repeat of this month? I'm having so many new experiences and new thoughts and new things happen since I moved here. I've gotten over some of my feeling bad about it, because I felt like things just went horribly wrong after I got here. Well, guys, I have realized a few things about myself. I went through a great big learning thing, and since I've been here by myself, just me and the cat, I've learned a lot more about myself. I have found myself again. Find yourself again. Do something different. Make a different decision. Find some joy and happiness you didn't have before. Because you know what? This is the only life you're going to remember. So make it count. Lana Scott Lighthouse.